Hi everybody, and welcome to another video with Fix This House. Today we're going to install a closet. Where are we going to put it? Right here. Behind this wall, we're going to put a door right on this wall, opens up this empty space back there, and we're going to put a closet in there. And I'm going to walk you through the steps. Okay, everyone, and welcome back. As we continue in our closet project, it's time to install the drop ceiling. I remind you that I chose to go with the drop ceiling because I got some electrical junction boxes up higher and I don't want to block off access to that. So the drop ceiling, I think, is a good way to go about it. Over here I've got our materials, some of the outside edging, some of the cross pieces, short and long, and some acoustic tiles. And I think that is all we're going to need. Now, I've never done this before, but I don't think it's rocket science. And I don't expect to have to support it from the center because it's such a small area that our track along the perimeter plus the cross pieces in both directions will be enough support. So I think our first step is to get out a pencil and draw a line around the perimeter nice and level where it's going to run, and to get the outside track installed. Now, I won't be able to show you all of it because just not much to look at, but I will certainly give you glimpses of the progress as we go along. So let's get started. All right, I've got my perimeter track up and I wanted to show that to you. It wasn't too challenging, except for these angled pieces here. So I've got a bend here, which meant I had to notch out the track on the side that meets the wall. This one here, I had to bend this down a little bit because otherwise, you know, it's for tiles going this way, but we've got to angle it slightly down this way. And yeah, so notching this out here. So it's probably not perfect, but I think it's going to work just fine. All right, our grid's in place. Just awaiting the installation of the tiles and the light. Now, it's really just one cross piece here, and then one here and one here, and it's not a heavy ceiling, and that's going to be just fine. These I didn't attach, so there's some flexibility here, and that's going to be important because I don't have a lot of space above the grid, and we'll need to be able to flex these a little bit and putting the tiles in. So, see, it's not connected, and that's okay, that'll be fine. But anyway, my plan is to put in these two first, and then the other two will be put in as part of installing the light also, which is this guy right here. And I'm just going to get him, you know, on this side. So the light won't be centered exactly, but it'll be just fine in a small closet like this. So let's keep moving forward. All right, welcome back. I'll bring you up to speed on the progress. I've got those two end pieces in. I got two more of these bigger ones that go on an angle. Now I've also, up there, if you can see it, I've mounted the junction box for the light. And then that tail that's hanging simply plugs into the LED light fixture that will be right up in there. And I have cut those two pieces. I'm ready to go. So I think I can put them in, and then from below we'll plug in our light fixture. And I think that should be it. All right, let's check out the ceiling. There it is. There's the light. It's not a perfect job, but it's okay for a closet, right? First time using this stuff, so it turned out decent. It's not great, but it's gonna be good enough. So let's turn on the light. Ah, yes, that's kind of nice. That's plenty bright. How many of you are bothered by the fact that the light is not centered? I don't think anybody's going to care either way. Like I said, it's just a closet. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, the ceiling's done. Let's move on to other things, like the floor. All right, so let's talk about this floor. Hey, the nice thing is, I've got some of this ceramic tile that matches the room already. So this is leftover from when we originally put this floor down here in this bedroom suite. And I've got plenty of it. I got a full box plus another piece. So that's definitely going to be enough to do that closet. And it's going to look nice. Also got a threshold here. So I'm going to put the threshold in and then the tile. What I have to do first and foremost is I got to get a hammer and a chisel and take down some of this old concrete. This, you remember, is where our chimney was. And I don't know, originally from 1962. Here's some concrete, and then a floor must have been on here, some kind of tile floor. It was glued down. Anyway, I gotta take this down just a little bit because we'll be putting our ceramic tile right on this concrete, but there's a few uneven spots, so that's not much fun, but I gotta get a hammer and chisel. Yeah. Okay, so here's the wet saw, kept it outside, and I've made my cuts. And I want to show you what we've got. So those aren't secured down. I just pre-cut everything since it's such a small area, and kind of fit them in place. I tried visually to keep it in line with the existing tile. There's the threshold. Do have some gaps here, but we'll fill that with the grout. No big deal. And as I was explaining before, I've got a staggered pattern, so it's not very. It's all staggered in different lengths. But what I made sure is, and I was trying to explain that before, all of my inside edges are factory edges. The cut edges are going to be on the outside. Or the cut edges are going to be along the back wall, or the cut edges will be right up here against the threshold. So all of the middle of the room seams are the factory edge. Now, it was easy enough to cut them all in advance, and now it's time to mix up the thin set and put it down. And it's nice because I can reach everything without actually having to enter into the closet. Okay, so we're making progress here. Try to give you a view. Spread our thin set. I put down our threshold first. A little extra mud in here. Scrape that out. All right, so now we're trying to set the tiles in place. So this is the cut edge. That's going back against the wall. right, I'm just going to step back and kind of take a look at it. Looks okay. You know, I think we're doing okay. Let's just keep going. All right, good. Let's take a look from back here. I think we're going to be all right. All right, I'll show you when I have all the tiles down. Right now, all you'd see is a view of my back. So, show you in just a little bit. Okay, so the tile's down. I think it's an okay job. It's not perfect. It's a closet. We'll let it dry for 24 hours. Tomorrow we'll grout it. I gotta get some dark brown grout. I don't think I have any of that, but all right, it's time to finish the floor here by grouting these tile joints. And I decided to go with something that was already prepared, so I don't have to mix it. It's all ready to go. And brown velvet. So I went with the darkest brown that I could without it turning black. So I didn't go with one in black. I went with the darkest brown that was on the shelves at the Home Depot. And hopefully it'll be okay. This is the part that I don't enjoy, but I'll be okay since it's a small section. My wife likes doing the grout, but she didn't want to do this one, so. Let's see, I got my ready mixed grout. I'll dispense it out with that. I got a rubber grout float. I got a bucket of water here, a sponge, a rag. And so, hopefully, it won't be too hard. I claim no expertise, and you know what? It's just about filling these cracks. So they say to go across it at a 45-degree angle and force it in. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a mess. I think that's why I don't like it. Just too. It's like playing with mud, and I don't like doing it. It's like playing at the beach. Not everybody likes going to the beach and playing in the sand. Alright, so I'm forcing it into the cracks, as you can see, and then I'll wipe off the excess with a damp sponge after I fill it all in. And this is not a huge area, so I'm going to do the whole thing and then I'll start cleaning it up. And I'll show you what it looks like at that point. Okay, there we go. So I got the grout in. I'm not very good at it, but I keep telling myself it's just a closet. And you know, standing here, it actually looks pretty good. So we got to give it some time to dry. Then there'll be some more haze, you know, filmy, a hazy film to clean off of it. But we've got to let it dry for a few hours before we can wipe that down. Also, I got to let it dry for like 24 hours or so before we walk on it. But when we do, we'll get in there and finish the baseboard, trim out the rest of the door frame on the inside, and this project will be a wrap. Yeah, standing right here looks fine. Very happy with that. I think the grout color is going to be perfect. Hey, I'm trimming out the inside of the closet. So I've cut my pieces for the baseboard. Haven't secured them in place yet, but I want to show you a little trick that I use so that I can be sure that I'm nailing into the vertical studs. Before I put down the tile floor, I had taken a marker and put a mark on the floor where the studs were, and then after, right as I was installing the floor, I transferred that mark to pencil on the wall. So I know exactly where my studs are going to be. And now I've put those marks on the baseboard itself so that I know that I can nail these right into the vertical studs. So I mark them in advance where the studs are, and that really helps. All right, also, here's the closet. I trimmed out the inside of the door frame, which right now looks horrible. But I'm gonna caulk all those cracks, put putty in those nail holes. On this side, on the right side here, I don't have room for the full width piece, and I don't feel like cutting one down, so I'm just using a piece of 1.5 inch wide by 1/4 inch thick piece of pine. And again, once I putty those holes and caulk this crack, paint it, I think it's going to look just fine. And let's be honest, it's a closet. So no one's ever going to come into the closet, turn around 180 degrees to examine how the door frame looks inside, right? That's just not how you use a closet. All right. That's beautiful. Right. So I'd mark my studs so I know exactly that these are going in. Just like they should. And of course here on the left side also. Oh, I'm out of nails. I think I should reload that baby. Okay friends, this closet is done except for one final step. I need to put a shelf in there. Something on which to put things and hangers and stuff. So that's our final step. And I bought this shelf kit from Home Depot. It comes with the hardware and the brackets and stuff. Plus here I've got some parts that I had left over from previous projects. When possible, instead of these anchors that go into a hollow wall, I like to affix the supports to the wooden studs behind the sheetrock whenever possible, because I think that makes it more secure, and I want it to be able to hold sufficient weight. I also bought these brackets. They go on these corners here so as to give it extra support. So we're going to install that. Now this piece came 36 inches. I measured mine. I got 30 inches wide. So I'm going to cut this at 29 3/4. I already made these marks. And I think the easiest way to cut this is with this angle grinder. All right. Alright, just a little update on the shelf. I've decided to go with a height of 5 feet. I think that'll be good. And I've secured it in the back. And again, I went into the wooden studs for extra support, not just into the sheetrock. And I'm putting supports here on the front corners also. Now this one I am going into a hollow sheetrock. But I don't like these connectors. These are just the cheapest garbage drywall anchors that they have. They come with the shelf. I don't like them at all. So I'll show you what I'm using. I already put one of the anchors in. And that's these guys right here. These are much more secure. So that goes in. You drill a pilot hole and then you put it in. This is far more secure than those other cheap drywall anchors. However, I put this one into wood. I want to show you what I did by going back to the other side of the closet because I wanted to give it more support. So I added that piece of wood between the two joists, the two studs. So that will, and that allows me to screw the support right into wood there in the back. So that's going to be nice and strong. All right, our shelf is up. That looks pretty good. And I think we worked it in such a fashion that it will be able to support quite a lot of weight. You know, if someone comes in with lots of clothes or heavy coats and stuff, it's not going to fall. Sometimes these are installed really poorly and can't handle much weight. I wanted to avoid that and make sure it was nice and strong, and I think we accomplished that. So that's it. That's our last step in this closet project. All right, that's it. We're done. The closet's complete. If you've watched this video, and I thank you so much. If you watched parts 1 and 2, triple thanks. I really appreciate it. I hope it was interesting and helpful. What I like most about the work that we did is that it's not obvious that this closet was added later. No one's ever going to say, oh look, they added a closet, or this closet is an afterthought. No, from the floor to the paint colors, to the trim, to the door, it matches the room perfectly as if it had been here originally, even though you and I know we added it later. So that feels pretty good. I should mention to you, I think I invested about $750 or $800 in the project entirely, which isn't too bad, I don't think. From the door, the studs, the paint, it all starts to add up. But I think that $750 or $800 is probably a pretty good investment for what we got. Now, my wife thinks that I've increased the resale value of our home by thousands of dollars. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that we've made this bedroom, bathroom suite a little bit nicer. And I've made my wife very happy with me. You can't put a price tag on that. Your comments, questions are always appreciated. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.